Okay, so welcome to Tips from the Top tonight. I am super excited about our guest speaker tonight, Jenn Hawkins. She is our Diamond Sapphire upline, the second highest rank in the entire company. I want to say that Jenn is a personal inspiration for me. Back when I started in the business, I probably watched her Diamond documentary like 1,000 times thinking, okay, I can do this. So you've been such a huge inspiration for me, to me, Jenn, and to everyone on the team. And the thing I like about you is you're just so real and so relatable. And I just admire you so very much. So thank you so much for taking time out to be on our call tonight. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Angie. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be on with you guys. I'm going to maximize my screen a little bit. Maybe I'll see a few more of you there. Okay. Yes, I'm Jenn Hawkins. I'm so excited to be on with you guys tonight. I have a lot I want to share with you guys from the John Maxwell training. So, Angie, do you want me to share my story, or do you want me to go right into the good stuff?
Just share a little bit of your testimony for the people that are new and may not know who you are.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So I joined Plexus the end of May of 2012, only to lose, I was desperate to lose baby weight and was not interested in the business, but my husband wanted me to at least make enough to cover my products. So thought I better do this, and when I fell in love with the products, decided to share and kind of had an accidental business. I'd always kind of held held network marketing at an arm's length, and so I wasn't interested. But whenever I fell in love with the product, started sharing, started making an income, and then when that income hit, we were like, wow, like this could change everything. And by everything, we just were thinking $1,000 a month so I could be a stay-at-home mama, and that's what I wanted to be. So I was on board going for that and quit my job in January of 2013. So about 7 months into my journey, I was able to quit my job. And then I'll just fast forward you a little bit. January of 2014, we were able to pay off $50,000 of student loans, just like that, one payment, which was such a huge blessing and burden lifted. I know that I know what debt feels like, and I know you may be sitting there thinking, that's what I want. That's my why, to get out from underneath this heavy burden. And it's so possible. I'm proof. And then fast forward to you another year, and my husband could see that our legacy, what we were creating, was gonna come through this business and the lives we could change through the financial freedom, and then focusing on our small children. And that was the legacy. That's where we needed to focus our time. So he walked away from his job, and now we stay home together, focusing on those kiddos. We've got 3 kids now, and in our Plexus business. And we're just so thankful. We're building our dream home here outside Franklin, Tennessee, living in a wonderful little cozy 3-bedroom apartment right now. But things are amazing, and this journey has totally blown away my wildest dreams. But the things that I'm most grateful for are being able to give abundantly and having just even the teensiest, tiniest sliver in so many thousands of people's stories, whether it's through their changed health or the business opportunity that has taken that financial pressure off of them. So that is kind of it, not so much in a nutshell. I have a hard time sharing that quickly. So, but let me go ahead and get into the good stuff. So last Friday, I was so honored to have a seat at the live John Maxwell Leaders Multiply event, where John Maxwell was a speaker, but then they also had speakers from network marketing, and they all were speaking on the 15 laws of growth. I've got my book over there on the other side of the table, but I don't think I need it. The 15 invaluable laws of personal growth, or of growth. And they walked through some of this book as it relates to network marketing. But John Maxwell was by far my favorite. And I'm going to kind of share a little bit about his talk, and then I'm going to skip right to just one law because there's so much good stuff. But I'm going to give you a little glimpse of what that event looked like. And some of you may have watched online, and so you're probably thinking, I've heard this, but it's so good, I could hear it again. And hopefully, I will be no substitute from those speakers or seeing that event live or on the simulcast, but I'm going to try to impart some of this amazing wisdom to you. So I have my notes, and I'm going to kind of follow along, but I want to start with John Maxwell came out and started talking about why personal growth, why it matters. And he said, there are few certainties, he's just turned 69 years old, and there are few certainties in his life, and most of the things that you think are true, you let go of, but there are few certainties in his life that he's certain of, and that is one of them is personal growth matters. Talked about that we cannot give what we do not have, so we must become more so that we can give more. And this was the part that really changed my perspective. I hadn't thought of it in this big of a picture. If you raise your level of who you are, you can pour into others and give them and bring them up with you. And I thought I knew that part, but what I didn't think about was that can change lives for generations to come. The impact you can have on the people around you can change generations to come. It can change the relationship with their children. It can change the relationship with their spouse. It could save a marriage, and that can change lives for generations to come. And I never really even grasped that it was that big of a picture. John Maxwell has leaders of countries asking him to come talk to their leaders, to come talk. I mean, they're leaders of nations, and to change their countries. And he talked about that it starts with us. And when we change ourselves, when we start with the person in the mirror, we can change our relationships right at home. We can change our families. And when after we change our families, we can change our communities. And then we can change our cities, and then we can change our state, and then we can change our country, and then we can change our world. I know it seems so cheesy, start with the person in the mirror, but it's so true. If we want to change the world, we can start right here in our own homes. Okay. So much. Okay. Now the first law of the 15 laws is the law of intention. But I'm going to skip that one and some others because I want to talk about something else. But I do want to touch on that growth has to be intentional. And I don't know if some of you saw my video that I did, when I came back, I think on Saturday from this event. But one of the speakers recommended just 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day of personal growth would add up to 12 books a month. So think about it like this. You've got person A over here that is doing 10 pages a day of personal growth. And you have person B not doing any personal growth, okay? So person A, they start here. And person A, in a 3-month difference, they've read a few books. They're maybe right here. 6-month difference, they're like this. 2 years, they're up here, and person B has still stayed the same. How much more of an impact can this person have on their life and on their relationships and on their business? The business will be affected with that personal growth. When we're feeding our minds with the right thoughts, that affects our behavior. And our behavior affects activity. Behavior is activity, and that activity affects the productivity. So it's all tied together. But I think it may have been John. Some of the speakers are a little mixed, but I think John Maxwell said, we don't do what we do so we can have a great business. We do what we can do so we can have the best people that we can have on our team. And the byproduct of that our people's businesses take off. So we're after we love the byproduct, but I'm after getting a team that is focused on being the best than they can be. You've probably heard it said that network marketing is personal growth with a compensation plan. And man, that's so true, because this all starts with personal growth. And John Maxwell said, if you want to build a large organization, you go back to personal growth. If you want to sell more product, you go back to personal growth. So personal growth and activity. I've just never been so excited and passionate about these two things, about how important personal growth is and the activity. Okay. So 10 pages a day, 12 books a month. Can you imagine? I mean, seriously, like I would read, or I would pick up a book here and there, and I would read a few chapters and kind of like, okay, I'm looking, but to commit to 10 pages a day where you get through 12 books a month on average, sometimes more, sometimes less, that will change someone's life. It's going to change my life. I'm super excited about it. And they also talked about the IQ level. What is your IQ level? Not your intelligence quotient. I think that's what you might have heard of that for. And obviously my IQ level, not very high. But the I quit level. What is your I quit level? And with every step you take on the personal growth journey, your I quit level raises. And no one has ever said, I quit my way to the top. I got to the top by quitting. No, the only way to fail is to quit. So let's all raise our I quit level so that it is sky high. It's not going to happen. Okay. I think I've said a lot of this, but I'm going to skip some of the laws, and I want to go to the law of trade-offs. So another way to say it is sacrifice. And I think sacrifice, okay, sometimes you sacrifice things, but you're not necessarily always getting something back. But a trade-off is a trade for something, whether it's right away or you're trading something now for something you're going to get later. And that's what we're doing here. Early on in my journey, and I know that many of you as well have done this already, whenever I realized I was working this business so I could be a stay-at-home mama, TV was out the window, and sleep. I gave up some sleep too. Those were the two trade-offs I made early on in my journey so that I had time to work this business. So it goes back to that intent, being intentional about finding those trade-offs that you can do to work your business. So let's see, what else? Said we make trade-offs every single day in almost every aspect of our lives, but this business is no different. Every choice that we make to go do something means that we can't do something else. So I've thought about it a lot too. If I say yes to this, that means I have to say no to something else. So it's made me be a lot more thoughtful about what I'm saying yes to, because that means that something else doesn't get to happen. Maybe it's, you know what, if I say yes to this, then I say no to my kids, and that's not okay with me. Or if I say yes to this, I don't get to an opportunity meeting, and the opportunity meeting happens to be the really great trade-off. John Maxwell, I talk to him like he's my buddy. John says, successful people make good trade-offs. Average people make few trade-offs, and unsuccessful people make bad trade-offs. Now, I am all about I'm a mom first, I'm a wife first, before I'm a diamond ambassador with Plexus. My family's my priority. However, sometimes you make some sacrifices in the short term so that you can live a life where you get way more time with your family. I sacrificed time with my husband where we would go and sit and watch TV early on But gosh, we get so much more time together now as a family because he gets to be home. If I hadn't put in that time and traded that time, then I don't know that I would be where I am today, and we would have this kind of freedom. I heard someone else say that, you can give up a few soccer games so that one day you can sponsor the soccer team and you can travel with the soccer team because you have built a business that allows you that kind of freedom. So I love that example. And so many times we use our families as an excuse when they really should be the why we're doing this, why that we need to go to an opportunity meeting, why we need to have an hour of quiet time to work our businesses. We have a tendency to overestimate the value of what we currently have and underestimate what we may gain by giving it up. I know so many people that are holding on to things that are not propelling their business or themselves forward. And they're holding on to something that is not valuable because it's comfortable and they don't want it. They are not uncomfortable enough where they are to give this thing up. So I've said always, how bad do you want it and what are you willing to give up to make it happen? It's just a trade-off. You have to give something up in the temporary so you can live the life of your dreams, so you can impact thousands of lives for generations to come, you guys. I mean, I know it sounds like, oh, so cheesy, pie in the sky, but it isn't. It really, really isn't. You can start a ripple effect that will change lives and relationships by raising your level, always being better and giving people what you have, because you cannot give people what you do not have. There's this poem, Karl Barth, it's in the book over there. But I'm glad I wrote this down here. It says, though no one can go back and make a brand new start, my friend, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. I wanted to put that poem in here because I want you to know, if you're sitting there thinking, I've spent a year not willing to give up that thing, and now it's too late. It is not too late. It's not too late to start becoming who you are intended to be. It's not too late to fulfill your potential. So you're like, where do I start? Where do I start? What do I do? Well, I've got a couple of challenges for you. One is just more of a directive for something for you to do tonight. And maybe you need to think about it more tomorrow. But if you can identify one or two areas that is not contributing to your business or your personal growth, what can you trade? What are areas that you can trade off to work on your personal development, to read those 10 pages a day, to work on your income producing activity? Where is that time? I have a personal example just like this morning. Today was a Monday, and I'm like, Mondays are always good days to start things. Not that it has to be a Monday, so you can start on Tuesday too. But for me, it was Monday. It was this morning. I have realized one of my excuses for not getting some of this stuff done is that my day gets started and it just gets away with me, and then I'm just reacting all day long to what's happening, whether it's mom stuff, stuff for my business, messages, phone calls, and it's just reaction mode all day long. Like okay, just catch ball. Okay, I got it. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna exercise, and it's been my excuse for not getting to the gym. My day gets started and I can't get to the gym. Okay, so no more excuses. The only time I'm going to get to the gym and the only time I'm going to for sure get personal growth in is in the morning. So you know what? Want to know what my new wake up time is? 4:30. That's what time I'm going to have to get up to get exercise in and get my personal growth in. So instead of sleep until 6:30, where I have to get up and then go wake up my daughter for kindergarten, it's 4:30. No more excuses. I'm intentional and I'm trading that time. I'm going back to trading. I'm trading back sleep so that I can raise my level of who I am so I can give people and help them fulfill their potential. Okay, that was my example for currently. Okay, so I said consider trading one. I want you to know that if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but I'm on the fast track, like I am doing this, I am going to the top, you probably need to consider trading more than one thing if you haven't already. So just keep that in mind. Okay, my next challenge, so that was just identify and decide to trade a couple more things tonight and tomorrow. Figure out what that is. When they issued that challenge to us last Friday and the thing, I knew right away. I was like, it's sleep. I got to get up earlier to make this stuff happen. Okay, here's the daily challenge. I put this in my video, but I want you to really grasp how this can change your business. So committing to 10 pages a day in a personal growth book. If you don't have one, then anything John Maxwell, but this one, I wish I could grab it, but I'm not going to get up. It's the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. It's the book that we covered. It's so good, and it's maybe a really great place to start because you will totally get the whole how vital being on a lifelong journey of personal growth is. So that may be a good place to start. 10 pages a day. Anybody can do 10 pages a day. And then not just reading it, but applying what you're learning. You can read it all day long, but if you're not actually doing the changes, then you're not going to change. Your business isn't going to change. 10 pages a day, and then 30 minutes of income producing activity. So this is where the intentional comes in. Where can I carve out? So do I need to get up 30 minutes earlier for personal growth and stay up 30 minutes later for income producing activity? Where can I carve out this time? But I promise you guys, if you do the personal growth and you focus on income producing activity, 30 minutes a day, if you can't do that, 15 minutes a day, focus time. I'm talking no scrolling Facebook, no getting caught into Facebook Messenger threads. If you're on Messenger, you are messaging the people on your list. You are messaging prospects. You are checking in with people. You are following up. You are not getting caught in the Facebook waste book land, okay? I promise you this will transform your businesses. But you have to be intentional. You have to trade some things off. So do you see how all this is tied together? What was the name of the book you just mentioned? Here, I'll grab it. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Right here. It's the one that we just covered. It's so good. So that is what I want to leave you with. I think I talked kind of fast. I don't even know how long your things would. We never asked. Facebook is so true. I'm guilty. It's so true. You guys, please limit your Facebook time. Do your relationship building. Wish people a happy birthday. Like whatever your time looks like, how much time you have, that can eat away at your business if you let it. I see it happen all the time. And people then think they're working their businesses, and they're not. They're in messenger chats and scrolling, liking, commenting, and that is not bringing in the paycheck, you guys. So, sorry, I started down at the other end. We have another computer at the other end, and I switched down here. I want to see if there's anything else I missed from my notes. I took so many notes. It was so amazing, you guys. Some of those really stick out here. I love this. I start it here. You train people to be better than you. They can train their people to be better than them. I love that I have people on my team, leaders on my team, that are way, way better than me. That's what it's about. And it has nothing to do with me, but they are amazing. They train their people to be amazing, and we bring everybody up with us. Oh, so good. Sorry. Okay. Do you guys have questions for me? I went through that pretty fast, not as fast as I thought I would go. I guess there's a chat down here.
Yeah, if you have questions, you can just post it in the chat, and then Jen will answer your questions.
Okay, I'm trying to read here.
Hey, Jen, I have a question.
Is that Alicia?
Yeah, hey.
Hey.
So, of course, the question that I have to ask is, you signed Celeste, and I would like to know how you went about that process, because I know you saw her as an influencer, somebody who is very influential. Was she on your chicken list? How did you go about identifying, and how did you start that conversation with her about Plexus?
Well, she was my customer for about 8 months. She's one of my best friends from college, and gosh, I started in the end of May of 2012. She became my customer in June, and I think she joined in March of the following year. So she was sending me customers all the time, and she would send me a customer, and I would say, give me 10 minutes, and I would text her back, this could be your link. You know, what's your link again? Seriously, it can be your link. And yeah, I'm not ever going to do that. Thanks though, appreciate it. And then I'll be like, okay. So I didn't, I kind of just subtly, like, you need to do this, you need to do this. No. And then I was visiting her, gosh, in February, the March before she joined in March. And we were talking about it. And I said, listen, you're crazy. I think the word she said I used is you're an idiot, but I don't know that I used that word. But, I was like, you're crazy. And I said, I will give you back all of your customers and you'll be making money. And so she's like, okay, but I think I'm pretty tapped out on my network. So that's our funny joke, that she's tapped out in her network, that she had sent me everybody that's interested in Plexus. But then once I got her in, I said, okay, FYI, there's this trip to Maui that would be really fun if we went on, and I think I'm going to go. She's like, well, I'm going to go there with you, because she's totally blue and a whole lot of red as well. So that was how it all went down. But she's one of my best friends from, like 20 something years. So it wasn't really a chicken list, because I can tell her she's an idiot for not signing up, supposedly.
So I guess that does lead the question, others that you had that were on your chicken list, how did you start that conversation? Because that's kind of where I am. I've connected with a lot of people that I felt like I could be comfortable with, which usually strangers I'm more comfortable with than people I really know well. But I've not really tapped into people I've worked with before, people that I feel like that we've had a really strong professional relationship. So I'm at that point where I'd like to reach out to them, but I'm just not sure exactly how to start that conversation. So, people that you may have had more of a business sense about, rather than just the products. And you feel like that they're more influential than just your typical.
Right. People love to hear how great they are. And so I think that just to tell them why you think they'd be amazing at the business, why, you're successful at everything that you do. I know that people listen to you. They care about what you have to say. And just being honest and genuine about why why they're on your dream team. And you're just planting a seed. Most of the time, they're not going to be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. I mean, if they do, that's awesome. But the more than anything, you're planting that seed so that they're like, well, she thinks I can do this. She thinks I'd be really good at this. And then they're watching you a little closer. And so if the timing for them comes up that they need Plexus, they're going to think of you. And you can say, I want you on my team. Know that I would love to chat with you. I'd love to share more with you, because I think that this would be such a blessing for your family and you could rock this. So it's just being honest and genuine. People love to hear that they're awesome. So if you really think they're awesome, go tell them how you feel about them.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hey, Jen, I have a question. So, to go to Diamond is like a tremendous feat, but like to actually, go back through and, reach Sapphire and, almost be like to the top again. Like, tell me like how you expand your network, because going to Diamond, you definitely, feel like you kind of have exhausted and reached out to every single person out there. But what are those things that you do in order to expand your network?
I just am constantly sort of networking on purpose. Like, there's never really a moment that I'm not like, and don't misunderstand me, I'm not going to the grocery store and being like, here's a card, join my team. That's not my style. I know that some people do that. That's just, I aim to connect first, but it's just being conversational, being happy, getting to know people. There's new people. There are new people almost everywhere you go, and they need Plexus. I talked to a new girl in Atlanta that I met, and we got to talking, and that question, what do you do? I was like, well, have you heard of Plexus? And she said no. And I said, what? You ever heard of Plexus? It's the most amazing health supplements ever. And I'm sending her samples tomorrow. That's actually what's in here. So aim to connect, talk to people, ask them questions. Like, I think we can get, my phone's across the table too. I think we can get where we're out and about and we're in our phone, we're just looking and, we're not paying attention. But smile, engage, connect, talk. And my thing with when I meet someone who I know I'm going to see them again, like maybe their kids, their kid is on my kid's same soccer team or kindergarten class, wherever, I'm going to see this person again. This is me. Now, this is not the way everybody does this, but I almost purposefully don't bring up Plexus the first time, because I want to build a foundation. More than anything, I want them to know I'm important, whether I buy her products or join her team. That foundation is very important to me. And it has been since day one. So it's just something that I'm kind of, then I get to know them and see like what's going on in their life. And then I know like, okay, Plexus has something that can meet their need. And how can Plexus be a blessing in their life? But if I don't have that relationship, I don't really know that leading. People will ask me if I lead with the products or the opportunity. And it's neither. I lead with the relationship, find out, and then after that, most of the time it's products, unless they open the door and they need the business and they give me that lead in. However, sometimes when you first meet someone, they open the door and don't miss it. I will go right in if they open the door. But usually I'm setting that foundation. That's the way I do it. I know that there are other jewels that do that talk to strangers and will say, hey, I would love to connect with you, get them on Facebook right away. And that works for them. It's just not what I have done. I think someone's asking about my samples. I don't have anything fancy. It's just a pink drink packet. Nothing fancy. I'll stick a little note in there. I don't know if that was what you were asking, Angie.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking. I like to get that different, and that's what I have, been doing is just, and I love that you say is leading with the relationship, just really, because this is a relationship business, so really developing that relationship and then kind of going from there.
Mm-hmm. And there's you meet people, maybe you're at a restaurant and the server gives you really great service. There's absolutely nothing that bad that can come from saying, you know what, I've so enjoyed your service. You're the kind of person that I would love to have on my team. Do you have some time? I'd love to chat with you about what a blessing this has been to my family, and I think you'd be great. That absolutely, that's wonderful. But the people that I know that I'm going to see again, I prefer to build that foundation. I had a friend tell me one time that she said, I appreciated that I didn't know what you did. I didn't know about Plexus until like the 6th conversation we had. It was a new neighbor. She didn't know because I was just trying to get to know her, and it didn't matter to me if she ever bought my products or joined my team. But come to find out, she really appreciated that, and she told me that. And so I waited until I felt like we had a good relationship, and then I messaged her and I said, I think you'd be really good at what I do, and I'd love to have lunch with you. And we had lunch, and she joined my team. But we had that foundation first, because I think in this John Maxwell training, they had, and I hated this. It just hurt my heart. One of the speakers said that we have this reputation in the industry. Network marketers have this reputation of being takers and not givers, and I hated that. It's the same concept that I don't want anyone to think she's just interested in me for what I can give her. And so I think we carry that through, that whole concept of let's not be takers, let's be givers. And right from the start, when we first meet people and connecting with them, and have conversations that aren't about Plexus, and have friendships that aren't solely just about Plexus, and people matter whether they join our teams and buy our products. But then it goes on the flip side is here we are. There was a lot in this John Maxwell day about giving, and we raise who we are so we can give more to other people. But then also about how amazing this industry is in the fact that we can have this passive residual, really wonderful income, and what we can do with that income, and in the impact we can make in our own communities, across the world, and in orphanages and rescue homes. And I love that. Let's all of us in every single network marketing company change that perception that we're givers, that we care about people, and it's about the relationship, and we're not takers. That was a really long way to get to that point where I wrap it up. But I think that went down a rabbit trail.
I absolutely love that. And I am so excited because I did get the pass for the conference. So I am so excited to watch that, because you have shared some fabulous things. And I know like Sarah Marbles has shared some stuff. And I mean, I am so excited to watch that conference.
If you watch it, you're going to take so many notes, and then like you should really do like, I mean, all your team who doesn't have one of those passes to watch it, like you'll get this, even if it's second through us, but and maybe not through John Maxwell's amazing, wise delivery, but still, it's a real good stuff.
Yes. So I'm so excited. I was so honored to have you on, Jenn. Thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you for, I mean, and I know I told you this. I remember, you know, when I was going Sapphire, and I was like, there's no way that this is going to happen. And it was like the same day you had gone Sapphire on your second leg. And then I'm like, wait a minute, if Jenn can do this, I can do this. And like, you just inspire me, and I'm sure I speak for so many on the team. You really inspire me and inspire so many to like want to be more and do more. So I just thank you so much for your leadership and for your realness, and thank you for taking time away from your family and for and pouring into us. So we love you, and I cannot wait to hug your neck at Leaders Retreat.
Samesies. I like, so many of you are in pictures, but anyone else going to be at Leaders Retreat? Do I see any? Patty? Anyone else? Do I see? There's Jennifer waving. So many screenshots. Nicole. All right. Well, it's going to be fun. So many people on mute here, but you're welcome, you guys. Angie, thanks so much. It'll be here before we know it.
Yes.
LaDonna.
I'm so excited. Thank you, Jenn. I hope that everyone has a wonderful meeting.
Rebecca. Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.